Hello viewers, this is Paladin of Odin, and this is some more Magic the Gathering Online. This is another episode of the Standard Commentary series. Alright, so second turn Fleece Main Lion on this side. And it looks like they're... Are we in a mirror match? Double Fleece Main Lions. It would be kind of funny if they followed each other exactly. Ooh, maybe not. I was thinking possibly Abzan, though to be honest I haven't seen Fleece Main Lion in many Abzan decks. So maybe it's a double scales. Because typically you only see Mana Gorger Hydra in Scales decks. I mean, it's a decent card by itself, but Scales puts it into a whole nother ballpark. So I'm pretty sure we're in a mirror match. Though I've been proven wrong about things in the past. Oh. Did he get stuck on 2 land? Okay, he does have his third. Don't do that to me, people. A second Fleece Main Lion pumps up the Hydra, which doesn't really matter for killing it wise because they're not playing red. Red's the only one that really cares about when you need to kill a Hydra because it's direct damage. But Warden of the First Tree, he's a guy that I've seen people play before. It's just I've never seen anybody get him to even his second, what do you want to call it, evolution? Most of the time he just sits around as his base because the format is really quick. So you don't tend to have enough time to spend 2 mana making him a 3/3, or 4 mana, 4 more mana, adding Trample and Lifelink to him. Mana Confluence. Siege Rhino. I am intrigued though. So it looks like he's the player with the Siege Rhino. It looks like he might actually be playing an Abzan deck. But the other player looks like he's playing an Abzan Scales deck, though we haven't seen Scales, so he could just be playing a different version of Abzan. But I have to admit, so far, they are remarkably well matched. Though the momentum is in the Hydra player's favor. Swing for... I'm trying to think. 4 mana. Another Fleece Main Lion. A 4th Fleece Main Lion. Okay, that is all the Fleece Main Lions in his deck. But 2 Fleece Main Lions isn't going to stop that Mana Gorger Hydra. And it's getting even bigger now. And good lords, that's 6 Fleece Main Lions in this game. Yeah, I'd just attack with the Hydra because he can't kill it. He doesn't have the mana to Monstrous. He doesn't have the mana to boost them. Okay. Chooses not to attack. Makes me wonder why. Other than the fact that he's at 2, I just realized why he's at 2 life. Death Mist Raptor. If he'd attacked, he'd have 3 blockers, he'd have 4 attackers, and dead. So at the moment, they are incredibly stable. It's kind of like trench warfare at the moment. They just each have to keep the other even until one of them doesn't, and then they'll break out. A really tricky play right here would be if the Hydra player, if he has Bile Blight, target, just for the sake of argument, target one of his own Fleece Mane Lions and kill all of them. And then he'd only have one block. That still wouldn't work because he'd still have the blocker for the Hydra. Citadel Siege could turn things around. I was thinking well, let's see, the Hydra would trample over for 6, so it'd still be lethal. So my plan would still work. Oh, and casting a spell, it'd be a 10-10. Anyway, so he picked dragons. At the beginning of combat on each opponent's turn, tap target creature that player controls. My guess, yeah, I was going to say, my guess is the Death Mist Raptor because it has Death Touch. That way, if he has to attack with the Hydra twice, he still has the Hydra. Oh, attacking all in, and he has 2, 4, 6 mana open. Abzan Charm on the Hydra. That's game. That was an interesting little match right there. So it took them a little bit to finish sideboarding, and while they were sideboarding, I was thinking, if this is a true mirror match, though obviously it looks like one side is playing a few cards different than the other, how do you side? I'm sure there's an established strategy for it, but how do you side against the mirror when you know that the other guy probably has almost the same sideboard as you? I mean, with the way that match went, I would be thinking about I should take out some things and put in some more creature kill. But at the same time, if he's thinking the exact same thing and you both bring down the number of creatures but up the number of creature kill, you're in the same stalemate. But one card that I think that I would add if this was my deck was I would throw in from the sideboard any extra copies of Abzan Charm, because I highly doubt that they're running 4 copies of Abzan Charm main deck. Okay. Just about the same speed of a start as last time, but this time leading with the Mana Gorger Hydra. I have to say, you know, if he can get rolling, he's a very good creature, but at the same time, he is very easy to kill. You know, the only time it's hard to kill him is if you're in red. And then it all comes down to timing and the right burn spell. Okay, Temple of Malady. And he likes that card. 2 mana, Self-Inflicted Wound. Ah! Target opponent sacks a green or white creature. If that player does, he or she loses 2 life. Well, there you go, folks. I was wondering about a sideboard for the mirror, and that right there is a very good card for that purpose. Citadel Castellan. I'm really thinking that his is an Abzan Scales deck. He has some cards that you don't usually see in Abzan. The Hydra, the Castellan. Alright, here comes Siege Rhino, a staple of the Abzan deck. Abzan Charm. Okay, so in comes the Castellan, and it goes up to a 4/5. And that right there is a really nice creature, a 4/5 Vigilance. As with the Siege Rhino, normally it's hard to deal with unless you can kill it directly. Which he did. Abzan Charm on it. But he is falling behind. Oh, a Johnny. Interesting. Yeah. That's another card that you don't see in Abzan. You know, in your Abzan or Abzan Rally deck, you don't see a Johnny, Mentor of Heroes. So, I think that this is a new twist on the Scales deck. Siege Rhino. Okay. And I have to say, it's a nice idea, because incorporating that third color lets you take advantage of everything that Abzan can do. And there are cards that fit quite well into the Hardened Scales combination, like Abzan Charm. For one, it can kill big creatures, or two, get you draw, or distribute 2 +1/+1 counters on 1 or 2 target creatures, which can be pretty nasty with Hardened Scales. So Siege Rhino on the other side. And he's searching for a creature, or an aura creature or planeswalker. He reveals Fleecemane Lion. Plays Feast. Wow, couldn't talk there for a second. Plays Fleecemane Lion. Flips Den Protector to grab Abzan Charm. Creatures with power less than Den Protector. Okay, so even if he Abzans the Siege Rhino, the Fleecemane can block the Den Protector. Unless he has a trick up his sleeve. Like maybe a second self-inflicted wound. or not. So he pumps the Den Protector up to a 5/4. So neither of the other creatures can block him. All he needs is one more point of power and he can kill a Johnny, which is easily doable with the amount of mana he has left. It's just, does he have a card to do it? Dromoka's Command. Yes, he does have a card to do it. And kill the Siege Rhino in the process. So a Johnny goes down. And I have to tell you, a Johnny Mentor of Heroes is probably my personal favorite Planeswalker. I mean, I've never used his ultimate, even when I've had 8, just because of how good his first 2 abilities are. Ah, people who don't read the cards. Yeah, you can't block. Read Den Protector. Creatures with power less than Den Protector's power can't block it. It's like those times when you force your opponent's creatures to attack and they try to just end their attack phase without declaring them as attackers. And you see that little message, illegal attack or illegal block, and you see it 3 or 4 times pop up until they finally cards. So Siege Rhino again, but this guy caught on pretty quick compared to others. So another Siege Rhino. Attacking with the Fleet's Mane, because why not? You can't block the Den Protector anyway. But this is almost down to top decking on both sides. Okay, Fleece Mane Lion. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he has enough to monstrous it right now if he wants to. Which he does. Which is understandable. He's running out of resources. And an indestructible 4/4 that can eternally block the Siege Rhino is a good thing. The Den Protector, since he can't be blocked at the moment. Alright, 2 cards in hand and 8 mana. He needs something pretty good. Alright, he's monstrousing his Fleece Mane Lion. Not a bad idea. Throws down a Morph. So we know he has Death Mist Raptor and Den Protector in his deck. So this could be either one. But a Den Protector would be much better for him right here. So, okay, I take that back. He still hasn't read the card. I do have the temptation to tell him, read the card, but I take a there we go. He did it. I take a hands-off approach since I am merely a spectator and a commentator. I don't get involved. So, simple misunderstanding. I have had that happen to me before, where I could swear I know what a card says verbatim, and then it comes into question, and I go back and look, and like I totally forgot a full line of the card. Sometimes it's even the first line of the card. Faux Razor Regent. Alright, so he's fighting the Morph. Creature you control fights. Put 2+1/+1 counters on it. Oh, it's a hidden Dragon Slayer. Wow. I wasn't expecting that, and that was also quite thematic. He's fighting with a dragon, and the hidden Dragon Slayer comes out of nowhere and kills the dragon. So, did you draw anything that you want to play? Nope, just going straight to attackers, which will be the Den Protector, and I'm pretty sure he's only going to attack with the Den Protector. I would be tempted to throw the Hidden Dragon Slayer at him just to gain the 3 life, but at the same time, he has to come to you eventually, and it'll achieve the same purpose. So he's down to 3. He needs something good. There really aren't a whole lot of things that I can think of other than full board wipe, like end hostilities, or, what is it, Crux of Dragons. Alright, he's up to 3/3. Pay 4 to give him lifelink. But that doesn't help. Tremoka's Command. Okay. Now I see what he was up to. Tremoka's Command to kill off the Den Protector. So now he is still in this fight. And he has a 3/3 lifelink. And his indestructible is now 5/5. But at 3 life, it's not going to take a whole lot to get through. Three cards in hand. Let's see what he has. No? and Afenza, the foremost. Okay. Well, now he has a third blocker. Whenever she attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on another target tapped creature you control. If a creature card would be put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. Oh, ow. Okay, so 8/8 lifelink trample. I don't know that he's going to attack with him because he could be easily blocked and killed. It would mean both sides would lose a creature and everything would pretty much stay even, except he would gain 8 life. But all he has to do is wait until his next turn to give him 5 more +1/+1 counters. That'd be 13, and even if he blocked with all 3, his Warden would still live. Thoughtseize for 1 card. Ooh, I don't know. Evolving Wilds is in his hand. Okay, so Thoughtseize. You can understand why he did it, to make sure. But at the same time, it turned out it was a land, so you basically just shocked yourself for next to nothing. Haha! And Afenza on the other side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. Turn him into a 13/13, which he can do at any time. But he didn't. I would have thought that that would have been a very opportune moment to swing in with a 13/13 lifelink trample. Just passing turns. Just hoping to draw something good. And Abzan Charm on the Warden. Alright, so we are back to Trench Warfare. Everybody stay in your holes until you hear the sound of the whistle. Self-inflicted wound. Which, unless he has a card in hand that will help him, that was the whistle to attack. And it doesn't look like it. He gave out the GG already. He drew 3 lands in a row. So, attack and boom. Or concede. Well, there you go, guys. That was sort of an interesting match, at least from my point of view. We got to see a mirror match of sorts with 2 Abzan-colored decks. Each one was a little different from the others. And the results were quite close in each game. So, if you liked what you saw, which was, and I botched the outro, so that was, I will say, classic Abzan versus sort of Abzan. No, we'll just do a mirror match. And if you liked what you saw, hit that like and subscribe button for me, and I'll see you in the next video.